Well, tonight we take a closer look at the Royal Bahamas Police Force COVID-19 hotline. Charles Fisher spoke with the head of this unit on procedures that must be in place before you venture on the road.
This area is one of the most vital and busiest during this trying times we are in. Chief Superintendent Maxine Leary Roll is the officer in charge of the COVID hotline area of the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Now, this is for members of the public, essential workers, and the like, for them to call the 311 line to ask permission or seek permission to be on the road during the curfew hours or during the lockdown hours.
Okay, you're free to go.
During the lockdown hours, this area is inundated with calls. Be patient.
We want the public to be aware that we have a full complement of officers in that area, and your call will be answered professionally, and we deal with every member of the public professionally and concisely and courteously. We don't leave. Sometimes there would be a problem trying to get through because, like I said, we are inundated with calls from members of the public wanting to go on the road to traverse the streets or whatever else have you. Now, some of these calls are doesn't warrant them having to go, so sometimes we would have to deny them going on the streets. Yes, safety is paramount for our officers. If you notice, all of our officers, they have sanitizers, they have the masks, they have gloves. Safety is paramount, even in our command center.
Now, the management of the emergency order is not only isolated to the inside.
Well, if you notice, we have our checkpoints out there, and if persons are on the road and the officers on the checkpoints or the static points stop them and they did not get permission from our command center to be on the road for whatever reason, if they're not an essential worker or would have gotten permission from us, they can be arrested because those officers out there on the streets, they would call into command center to see if Charles Fisher was given permission to be on the streets.
And a word of advice to essential workers.
Not because you're an essential worker means that you can just be out there riding around willy-nilly. You have to be coming from work or going to work. Right now, sometimes our streets are crowded, and like I said, we're trying to curb this pandemic here in the Bahamas, so we would advise against persons because they're essential just to go on the streets if they're not going to or from work.
Once again, if you have to be out, the number to call is 311 and it will be answered. For ZNS Network News, I'm Charles Fisher.